Hey, good morning, guys. It is Mr. Price back with you again to share a few more stories. I have switched over to my headset now. I've heard that it allows my voice to be heard more clearly. So even though it looks a little goofy, I switched over to it for you guys. So I hope this helps with the audio coming through my videos. So anyways, yesterday we started generating some ideas for our personal narratives we're going to be writing. I shared some stories with you. I asked you to make some connections. We're going to do the same thing again today. Remember, you should be making connections the whole time while you're watching these videos. Pop over to that Google document that's there. If Miss Lynch has one for you as well. I know my class has one. But add ideas as you go. Pause the video when something pops in your mind. Pop something down on the document. 3 is the minimum. But you're definitely encouraged to have more than that. I think it's definitely beneficial to have as many ideas as possible. I think that being able to choose from as many as possible will lead to narrowing down the best topic for your personal narrative. Anyways, continuing on with the Book of Bad Ideas, we come to bad idea number 96. And it is making fun of someone else when you have toilet paper stuck to your shoe. And while that's not super extreme or all that crazy or anything, I've never had that happen to me, but I've seen that happen to people. I've seen people walk out of the bathroom with toilet paper stuck to their shoe. But what I have done is try to goof on somebody else and had it spectacularly blow up in my face. When I was in high school, I was a freshman and I was sitting at the lunch table with my friends, and my friend next to me had a pop in the plastic bottle with a screw-on cap, and I thought it'd be funny if I shook it up a little bit while his head was turned. And so I reached over and I grabbed the pop and I shook it, and little did I know the joke was on me. He had already opened the pop and just set the cap right on top of it. So I flung pop everywhere, all over our whole lunch table and all over the table behind us, which happened to be filled with seniors. They were very displeased with me, and I was very lucky that I was an incredibly fast sprinter. I took off running out of the lunchroom and consequently ran smack dab into the principal. Ended up getting lunch detention for a few days, and I definitely learned not to do that again. Some lessons come the hard way. So I ask you guys, have you ever had something like that happen? Have you ever tried to do something as a joke to someone else and have it end up working out poorly for you? If so, you should write that down. That'd be a great idea for one of your personal narratives. The next item from the Book of Bad Ideas is bad idea number 462, creating your very own intergalactic communication device with parts from your dad's new stereo. There's the picture for you guys. I love this book because, as you're learning from my stories, I've done things like this. But beyond that, just imagining what it would be like if someone did that with my things, it gives it a whole new perspective. Although I've never specifically taken parts from my dad's new stereo and created something out of them, I have taken some of my dad's things and ruined them before, unfortunately. I found this screwdriver that my dad had that was this big, really nice screwdriver, and he had gotten it from my grandfather who passed away. And I thought it was really cool, and for some reason I thought that the handle and the way that it fit in my hand made it feel like a lightsaber must have felt in Luke Skywalker's hand. And so I wanted to see if I had force powers, and I was out in the yard. I was actually in the driveway, but I was throwing the screwdriver down into the yard and making it stick straight down, and then trying to force power it back up. Clearly, it never worked out that way. Yeah. So, anyways, one throw, I wound up, and I went to sinking into the ground, and my aim was just a little bit off, and I clipped the edge of the driveway, and I bent the tip of the screwdriver. And to make matters worse, I panicked, and I thought I could fix it. And so I took the screwdriver, and I set it on a rock, and I grabbed another rock, and I was trying to hit the tip of it to try to bend it back the proper way, and I ended up snapping the tip of the screwdriver off. My dad was not happy. Like I said, it was something that he had that was a tool of my grandfather's, and he was certainly not happy to see it ruined like that. So I ask you, have any accidents ever happened where you've accidentally destroyed your parents' property? I can almost probably bet that there are some of you sitting there right now, and you might be watching this with your parents, and they're probably looking at you funny. Might be a good story. You might want to write that down. The next one that we have is bad idea number 53, and it is parking your toy truck in the oven. Again, that's not something that I've ever done, but I hope that you've realized through this that these don't have to be specific connections in order to still make connections. In essence, this is, have you ever made a mess like that? And I have. It wasn't with the oven, but it was with the dishwasher. I was old enough to stay home alone, and at least for a little while, and my parents had asked me to do the dishes, and I got the dishes all washed up. I got them put into the dishwasher and ready to go. And I decided this time I wanted to use the blue soap from on top of the counter instead of that boring powder soap from below the counter. And so I loaded the little cup up with the blue soap, and I hit start, and I settled down to watch some cartoons. I went to grab a drink of water sometime later, and what I found amazed me. The whole kitchen had filled with suds all the way up to my waist and to the countertops. I had to wade through them in order to open the dishwasher and stop the source of the suds, because the soap was just coming right out of the seam around the dishwasher. I was so worried because I knew my parents would be home soon. So I ran to the laundry room, and I turned the water on in the wash tub, and I grabbed a bucket, and I started grabbing buckets of suds and running back and forth, dumping them down the drain, just trying to rinse them away as fast as I could. And you guys wouldn't believe it. I got the whole kitchen cleaned up. It was sparkling clean. I mean, it was all soaked up and ready to go. It was really clean. And I was incredibly proud of myself. And so I, gave myself a pat on the back and decided that I probably should take a shower now that I was all sweaty after running back and forth and cleaning up all those suds in a panic. So I pressed start on the dishwasher, let it finish its cycle, and went to take a shower. And I got out of the shower and I was drying off, and I heard the back door open. And the way that the house was set up, the back door opened straight through to being able to see the kitchen. And my dad screamed my name so loudly. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? Because I thought I'd gotten everything all cleaned up. And I went running out there to find the kitchen completely full of suds again. Because not only was I the idiot that put dishwashing soap in the cup to begin with, I pressed start a second time without cleaning it out. What was I thinking? Oh my goodness. My parents were furious, but I had tried to do what they asked. I tried to do the dishes. I didn't really get in that much trouble, but I learned a valuable lesson that day, and hopefully you learn one if you had ever considered doing something like that. Don't. Trust me, don't. Anyways, have you ever made any messes that were uncontrollable like that? Things that got out of hand around your house? I don't mean to be negative with all these ideas, but it is the book of bad ideas. And often these stories and these events lead to some exciting moments that make really good stories. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed the little glimpse into my life and the torment I put my parents through as a child. I hope you were able to make some connections, and I look forward to hearing them. If you want to bounce some ideas off of me, please feel free to stop by my office hours anytime, and I'd love to chat. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.